Today I wanted to talk about a topic that it's not really discussed a whole lot within the black pill community, and it's weird because I think it is actually one of the most brutal black pills of all, and it just does not get the recognition it deserves. So what I'm talking about is voice and the utter brutality it is to be a voice cell. I am a voice cell. I'm sure you've noticed, you've been watching my channel. I have a not good voice. My voice isn't great. And if any of you are thinking, whoa, your voice isn't all that bad, your voice is all right. Well, I actually do edit the audio to these videos to some extent. So I remove a lot of filler words I use, like. I remove a lot of likes. I remove a lot of ums. I remove a lot of dead space because I tend to pause a lot between words and between sentences. But when I'm talking to somebody in person, all of this, I can't edit my voice in real time, and people are hearing all of this. So there's a few big problems I have that make my voice so trash. And I guess it's not just the way my voice sounds, but it is that, but it's also the way that I talk in general. So the first thing is that I talk really slow. And this is something that kind of goes along with, it's kind of a stereotype that people from the region of the country that I'm from do tend to talk more slowly. And I don't know, that might be true, but even amongst other people in the area where I'm from, I know that I talk more slowly than most. And it's weird because I don't even know where I get this from, because my mom and dad raised me and they both talk at a regular speed. So I don't know what it is, but I talk extremely slowly for some reason. I think what it is that I'm a slow thinker. And it's weird because people would associate being a slow thinker or a fast thinker with intelligence. And I'm not going to say I'm like super intelligent, because I know I'm not super intelligent, but I think I am pretty smart. I think I'm above average IQ, although I can't really say for sure. So either way, I definitely do know that a lot of people less intelligent than me do talk faster than I do. So I don't know. And the speed at which I talk, it sucks because when I'm talking to someone in person, I can just see on their face that they're just waiting for me to finish the sentence. I can see that people are getting bored when I talk to them. And another thing that happens with me a lot, before I even finish a sentence, people will try to finish the sentence for me. They'll try to, they're trying to guess the next word I'm saying, or they think they know what I'm gonna say. And it's just they just can't take it anymore. They're getting so bored of waiting for me to finally spit it out that they just complete my sentence for me. And what really sucks about that is that I would say more often than not, probably 75–80% of the time when this happens, the way that somebody completes my sentence, they're wrong. They complete it wrong. They say the wrong thing, which just shows how these normies are just completely incorrect in all of the assumptions that they make about me and what they think I would be saying. So that's kind of a topic for another video. But anyway, so yeah, I talk slow, which sucks. It bores people. And what adds to that a lot is this next thing. The next thing that makes me a total absolute voice cell is that I just talk really monotone. This is one of the reasons that I think I'm probably on the autism spectrum, because throughout my entire life, everybody has told me that I have a very monotone way of talking. And I remember anytime in school when I would have to give presentations, teachers would always give me the feedback that I'm speaking very monotone. They would say, talk with more emotion, talk with more personality. And it's like, I can't. I'm doing that. In my head, I feel like I am speaking in a not completely monotone way, but then when it comes out, and I can hear it on the recording, when I listen back to my audio recordings, it's like, yeah, I am speaking very monotone. And I can understand why that would bore someone. When I watch a video, or any time back in school when I would have a professor that spoke in a very monotone voice, it was always harder to pay attention to. It just kind of lulls you to sleep. I mean, actually, maybe that'll be good for this YouTube channel that my voice can maybe lull people to sleep. Because I'd be fine with that. You know, if people want to watch my videos, just turn it on to fall asleep to. Hey, go ahead. Maybe that'll work out for you. If you enjoy that, go ahead and do it. But in my day-to-day life, the way that I just talk so monotone, talk so slowly, it just bores people to death. And I can see it all over their faces. And it's a struggle because I've tried techniques to be more emotive, I guess you could say, and it never really works for me. Like one thing I've tried, because I kept reading this advice online, you know, if you want to sound more expressive in the way you talk and you want to avoid having a monotone accent, then one big piece of advice you always read is to smile more when you're talking, or, you know, make more facial expressions as you're speaking. And I've tried that, and it makes no difference. It makes no difference whatsoever. Well, I guess when you're talking to someone in person, it does make a little bit of difference. It makes you look like a complete fucking retard, is what it does. The difference it makes is it makes you look completely fucking retarded when you're making a bunch of faces while you're trying to talk to somebody. So I do not recommend doing that. If you're a monotone speaker like me, don't try to be more emotive. Just, you know, you've just got to live with it because there's nothing you can do about it. Like it really is, it's truly is over out here for all of us Voicecels. So yeah, so far that's two aspects of my voice, talking slow and talking monotone. That's two aspects that make me a Voicecel. What else? Right, so here's one of the biggest things, and if you've been watching videos on this channel, you already know this, but I'm really bad with filler words. These are the words, you know, just meaningless words that don't add anything, and in fact, often lower the quality of anything I'm trying to say. So what I'm talking about here is when I say like, I just throw the word like into any random sentence. I don't know why, but I'll just like say like, and I can't help it. I cannot stop it. I know you've heard this in a lot of my videos because I can't possibly edit out all the likes. It's just not possible because sometimes I say it so fast that it's almost like connected to the next word, and there's no way I can edit it out. I do try to edit out likes, but it's really not possible to get them all, and it sucks. It makes me sound stupid. The other thing is, in the same way I use like, I say So I say like, and there's one more that I do a lot, and a lot of people have this one. I say you know. I say you know for no reason, you know. I just say it, and I can't stop. And I wasn't just trying to say it back then. It really just came out. Like It's weird as I'm talking about how I use these filler words. You would think maybe I'd be more conscious of doing it, but I can't stop. I cannot stop. It's like just, I don't know. So yeah, I talk slowly. I talk in a very monotone voice. I use too many filler words like, and you know. And what else? Right, so this is one, I think I've managed to hide it pretty well with the way that I edit the audio for these videos, but I actually stutter quite a bit, and I do it way more when I'm speaking with someone in person because it is kind of a nervous tick, but I stutter a whole lot. I really don't know what to do about it, and I have a particular kind of stuttering where I typically just do like one quick stutter. Like maybe when I start a sentence that begins with I'll say I twice. I do that a lot. I just say a sentence like that. I can't help it, you know. That was me. That was not a legitimate, you know, that was me just trying to give a demonstration, but yeah, using too many filler words, speaking all monotone, talking slowly. It's just boring, boring, boring. And the last thing you want to do as a man that's attracted to women, the last thing on earth that you want to do is bore the women that you want to be attracted to you. You know that old song by Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun? Well, that is so true. That is absolutely true. I mean, what an absolutely black-pilled song that is, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Because that is 100% true. And it's just, When you've got a voice like I do, when you talk in the way that I do, what is there to do about it? I mean, a girl cannot have fun with you because every time, if I was with a girl, every time I would speak to her, she's gonna be bored. Because anytime I speak to anybody ever at all in my life, throughout my entire life, they get bored. That's why nobody wants to talk to me. And I understand. If I was somebody else and I met myself, I wouldn't want to talk to me because I would be bored, because I'm boring. And it doesn't matter what I say. I could be saying the most interesting thing in the world, but the way I say it is boring. I'm a Voicecel. I can't help it. I don't talk good. I can't. I do my best. I try, but I'm a Voicecel. It's a miserable existence. It's a truly brutal black pill, the Voicecel pill is. And it gets no recognition. Nobody's ever talking about the voice pill. Why? I don't understand. Maybe it's because a lot of these guys that do videos like this, they don't have that problem. Some of them do for sure, but some of them don't. I mean, listen to DBDR. What a great voice. DBDR has a really aesthetically pleasing voice. He has a nice voice. And he doesn't use too many filler words. He tells stories really well. And I don't know, he might do a lot of editing to his audio. I'm really not sure. It doesn't sound like he does, but you know, if he's editing it well, and he might be because he also produces music, so it makes sense he would know about audio editing. So either way, for me, I'm nothing like that. My voice is terrible. My voice is god awful. I talk too slowly. I speak monotone. You can't hear any emotion in my voice. I bore people with everything I say. I use too many filler words. I stutter. It's hard for me to even get a sentence out. I'm a Voicecel. And what else? My accent. I have the most grating accent in the world. And thankfully, I don't think I have it too severely, but you've probably noticed that I have a bit of a southern accent, which oftentimes has the reputation, you know, it carries the connotation of low intelligence. So not only am I boring everybody I speak to, it's not just that they hear me talking and they think this guy is boring. No. They also hear my accent and they think this guy is boring and stupid. Because I sound stupid. I sound boring and I sound stupid. That's the life of a Voicecel. That's the brutality of the voice pill. And I know some of these other black pill guys on these YouTube channels like this, I've heard them talking about how they had something going on with a girl over Discord or something like that for a little bit. And they always talk about how it ended up being a failure, which, you know, and I do sympathize. I do. But the thing is, for a guy like me, that could never be me. That could never be me. I mean, you know, not to mention my extreme social anxiety that would prevent me from even having a real-time voice conversation with someone over Discord. But the second a woman hears my voice coming through her computer speakers, she is gonna shut down her computer. She is gonna rip the speaker cord right out the audio jack. And she is gonna shut down her computer. Because my voice is grating. My voice is boring. And my voice sounds stupid. It's just another one of the things that makes me unable to find any success in life. Because your voice is everything. Your voice is how you present to the world. My voice has to be present in every job interview I do. And that's one of the reasons I can hardly even manage to get a call back for an interview. But imagine going on the actual interview and then I have to talk and they hear me saying, And then that on top of my super monotone voice, because in every job, no matter what career you're going into, it doesn't matter if your job is to, to be down in a dungeon where you never speak face to face to another human throughout the entire work week. It doesn't matter. They want you to have a good personality. And it doesn't matter how great of a personality a person has if they have a voice like mine. If you talk the way that I talk, your personality is 100% irrelevant, because no matter what you say, you're boring. No matter what you say, you're stupid. I remember back when I did have that nice office job I used to have back a few years ago. I remember one time I was supposed to be giving a presentation, just a quick little 2 minutes thing I had to say. And this was at the company strategy meeting, so it wasn't just other engineers in the room. There was human resources, salespeople, and everything. Every kind of person that worked for the company. So a bunch of normies is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, while I was giving the presentation, there was these two HR girls that, they're younger, fresh out of college, early 20s, attractive females. And as soon as I start talking, my face was turning red. And I've talked about this before. When I get really nervous or I'm about to have a panic attack or something, I just go completely red, and it just makes it all the more embarrassing. I think I had tears starting to well up in my eyes. I didn't actually have any tear drops, but as I've said before, I'm very prone to crying when I'm nervous, and that was happening. Yeah, so I was just stuttering through my presentation. And another thing too, I can get away with having my stupid sounding Southern accent when I'm in the South. But this job, I was actually working, I don't want to say where, but in a big city up north. And people there have a totally different accent, so I would get people laughing at me all the time when they heard my voice. So anyways, at this presentation, these two HR girls are they're kind of snickering to each other. They're doing the thing where one of them covers their mouth with their hand and looks over and kind of says something to the other one. Then I just see both of them laugh, but they're trying to not laugh. They're trying to hold back their laughter. And I could just see it the whole time. The whole time I'm stuttering through my god-awful presentation, these two girls are trying to hold back laughter, and it's just so embarrassing. I mean, I know what they're doing. They're mocking me. They're mocking the way I talk. I know that. And probably not just the way I talk, the way I look too. My voice in combination with the way I look. Now that's a whole other kind of brutality. But yeah, I don't know. And I don't even know why I bother making these videos too, because there is no way I will ever be able to find success on YouTube. And I mean, I used to have a high effort channel where I would do tons of editing to the audio. I would do a lot of video editing, and I would write out full scripts for all of my videos. And I made some good videos. I made some really high quality videos. I'm talking about on par with other high quality YouTube channels like Sunny V2 or Internet Anarchist. I was making those type of videos at, with the same or close to the same editing quality and script quality that they have. And you know why my channel failed when those other channels find massive success? A large part of it is because of my voice. If you have a terrible voice like I do, how could you ever succeed on YouTube? And again, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, but your voice isn't that bad, you actually have a decent voice, trust me, I'm editing this to make it sound better. And the other thing is too, that I sat down and I'm literally sitting down alone in my room right now talking. Put me in a real life situation with other people around and it's a whole different story. That makes everything about the way I talk 100 times worse. 100 times worse. Because I am a slave to my nervousness. I am a slave to my inhibitions. There's nothing I can do. I'm super high inhibition, and really that's the source of 99% of my problems, but even if I was low inhibition, I would still be a Voicecel. My voice would be better. It would be a lot better than it is, but I would still be a Voicecel. Oh, and there's one other thing about my voice. I don't know if this is a nervous habit I have or what, but I end almost every sentence I say with so or but. And that really sucks because I don't know what it is. I think in my head, I'm thinking I'm going to say more than what I say, but then I'll end a sentence with the word but. So you think there's more coming, but there's not. And I also, at some point, I realized that when I do that, especially when I end a sentence with the word but, sometimes if I'm talking to a man, he'll think I'm calling him bud because of the way I pronounce it. I don't do the T very hard like a T. I do it almost more like a D. So yeah, I say a sentence, for example, I would say, I'm a Voicecel, but, and if I say that to someone, they're either going to be expecting me to say more, and it's going to be weird that I didn't, or they're going to think that I'm calling them a bud as like a weird nickname. And that's not, if someone calls you bud, that's like calling someone champ or something, or calling someone sport. It's like, it's too familiar in a way that it's like that old South Park episode with Terrence and Phillip, and they're like, I'm not your buddy, guy. And he's like, I'm not your guy, friend. And they go back and forth like that. It's that kind of thing, It almost sounds like I mean it in an offensive way, like I'm trying to be rude to someone by calling them bud, but I'm not. I just have a nervous habit of ending sentences with the word but. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what else there is to say about this. I'm a Voicecel. My voice sucks. I don't really think there's anything I can do about it. Like I said, I've tried to improve my voice. I've tried to improve the way that I talk, but ultimately I don't think there's anything I can do. The monotone of my voice, there's no way I will ever have a more expressive voice. My accent, there's not much I can do to hide it. I have a stupid sounding accent, and that's how it's always going to be. Talking slowly, there's nothing I can do about that. It's because I think slowly. I think slowly because maybe I am kind of stupid. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to bring some more awareness to the utter brutality that is the voice pill, because almost nobody in the black pill space is talking about voiceseldom. And I'm a Voicecel, and I gotta tell you, being a Voicecel, it's one of the hardest black pills to swallow. And it sucks. Because it's really, your voice is everything in this world. And if you have a terrible voice like I do, you're destined for failure.